welcome back to the Warzone. I'm your host, Dr. John Hammer, and today we have a special guest. We have Brian Stuhr from Speculum and Birdeater Entertainment. Hey, Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just chilling this evening.
Well, yeah, thanks for joining me, man. And, it's kind of a short notice, but, I appreciate it. I'm always down for interviews, and I reached out, been asking you. And the main reason is, you got a couple shows coming up. I really wanted to promote those. I'll be there. So we got May 22nd, Che Cafe, right? And May 23rd, the Whiskey, Speculum live.
Oh yeah. We go on, was it on 22nd? We're headlining. 23rd, we're at the bottom of the line at the Whiskey, but it's okay. We kind of set it up because we were all interested in playing the Whiskey. 22nd at Che Cafe, we got a whole lineup of like harsh noise, electronics, power electronics.
Hell yeah.
And then at Whiskey, we're like harsh noise, opening up for like what I thought was punk rock. I originally thought that we were opening up. I gotta admit this, for the Southern California Zeros, but we're opening up for the glam metal New Jersey Zeros, and they identify themselves by they all wear identical purple wigs, or they used to have their hair dyed purple, I guess, in the 80s, but
dude.
I guess now it's wigs. And so me and Parker and John and Ed and all the mega band guys were kind of like talking about that. We're like, and they're like, well, we kind of got it set it up, contracted, so we're gonna go forth with it. And then there's some other weird bands on it. There's one that, by just by name, I haven't looked them up because I don't want to be disappointed. I'll wait to be disappointed that night, possibly.
Right.
Maybe I'll be excited. They're called Alien Fiance. And I was like, that's a good name for a band.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Hopefully that's what saves the night. It's like, in Speculum, we're going first that night, Whiskey. We got some wild stuff planned.
That's cool. Yeah, that's the main reason I'm going to that show, to tell you the truth. And I feel like and I didn't know. I thought it was the 77 punk Zeros. I didn't know it was a different one. So now I'm interested to see what that sounds like. But I don't know if I'll stick around for that or not. But I'm definitely.
A lot of. I looked up their music. I thought it was 0 Zeros. I didn't know there was 2 Zeros. And the other one, see, this Zeros, like, in a way they were glam metal, but I noticed that they used the word glam punk. And I noticed they play with punk bands like Lower Class Brats and stuff. And so I noticed that they kind of vibe on that. And I think they're leaning on the fact that the other Zeros are in the punk scene, and they really don't, it's kind of like, no one really pays attention to the Purple People Eater Zeros. And that's what we've been calling them.
Well, that's cool, man. I'll check it out. I like glam. I don't know, like Gary Glitter, T-Rex, right? Shit like that.
Yeah, more like the original stuff. But we're talking about like the '80s, like Motley Crue, Rat. That kind of glam is where these guys are kind of coming from. I
don't know. I even dig. There's a show, Joaba. He plays just like a bunch of different shit, but he played some old Motley Crue I've never heard before. Take Me to the Top, and I'm like, man, I like that old Motley Crue shit. It's pretty good, but yeah.
I did security for one of their gigs one time, and then when Speculum played the Los Angeles Murder Fest, I was going back and forth backstage, and I forget her name, that tattoo girl.
Cat Von D?
Huh? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That tattoo girl, the cat girl, and she was back there with. I guess she was dating him at the time, and the members of Wetsec were like, "Oh my God, it's Nikki Sixx." I'm like, "Oh my God, it's Nikki Sixx." I just kind of walked.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just not I'm glad you brought all that up, man, because not to talk shit about anyone on that Whiskey lineup or anything, but just my personal preference, none of it was interesting, but Speculum is, and that's why I wanted to talk to you. Like this kind of shit, I don't know. I'm starting up my label, Cyber LTD, and I got some friends and projects, and that's what this show is all about, just bringing that to the forefront, because this shit's interesting. To me, older punk and all that, it's all right, but it's not interesting. Some of the older bands still going, how fucking creative is it to be 80 in the same band you were in when you were a fucking teenager, dude? I mean, you know what I mean? You got Speculum playing, some industrial, what do you call it? You call it noise, but, I was listening to it, violence and sexual encounters today, and, man, it just, really industrial.
Oh, you got one of the copies of that?
No, I don't. I was listening on YouTube, you know what I mean? And the Organized Dorks, split, you know what I mean? And it's badass fucking grinding.
There's both. There's going back to the Organized Dorks, the split, the recording of that. Because speaking of Organized Dorks, Katz from Organized Dorks was on that recording, the intense violence and sexual situations, and he recorded it in my garage at my old house back in the Santee. He came down from Culver City, and recorded it all on a 4-track and mixed it and produced it. And I think he played bass after the fact. And
it's on a 7-inch too, so that's even more legit. You know what I mean?
Wait. The Intense Violence is on 7-inch?
No, I'm sorry. The Organized Dorks. I thought. I'm sorry.
That was both the first vinyl release for both us and the Organized Dorks. That was debut for both of us. Before that, it was basically both of us were kind of trading demo CDRs, which is kind of what you did back in 2003, 2004, 2005. And the summer 2005, we went up, and me and Nate, who was was Speculum at the time, we went up and we stayed with a couple nights with Ben Agramash. I went and got that produced and stuff. I'm not going to talk so much on it, but me and Ben Agramash aren't on good terms, but there is some good memories back there. But he took us, and then we went and watched Bill Smith master our record on a lacquer, and then we had the whole Bill Smith Bill Smith mastering record company. They don't exist anymore. They were bought out. He retired. But it was cool going into his office, because you look up and there's pictures of him with NWA. I remember the pictures of him with NWA.
Oh, wow.
That was with their first single that got hit, and he's like, oh yeah, they were right where you guys were sitting when they came in. I was like, holy shit.
So he probably had some next level compressor shit like that. So that's why it sounds the way it does, right?
Yeah. We got to sit there and watch him cut the 7-inch on the lacquer, which is not something people normally do, but we kind of I guess Ben just kind of brought us over to see that. We were like, wow. And that company doesn't exist anymore. I think it was absorbed by some other company that now sells the vinyl editions, or if you want to do an LP or a 7-inch, ridiculous prices. But back then, you could cut a 7-inch. We cut 500 copies of those. Nowadays, that's ridiculous to me. I can't do that. Cassettes, the Birdeater. Well, yeah, we cut 500 copies of those, and I traded them all over the world. It was cheaper back then to the mail.
Yeah, sure. 2005. That's what. Yeah, a lot of 7-inches. And I also noticed, one of the masters of 7-inches, Agathocles, man. He got a split. I was surprised to find Speculum Agathocles split.
Yes, that came about. That's been kind of tossed about for I'm gonna say a good 18 years.
Well, that's great. Yeah, that's cool, man. You know what I mean? That's one of my favorite bands. It's just not a favorite band, but they're one of the original genre-defining, creative, original people. You know what I mean? That's why I'm so stoked on them.
It's grindcore it has a message. He has a message.
Yeah, it has a fucking message. It's not just dumb shit, you know?
Yeah, just starting the gore grind stuff. If I had a nickel for every gore grind brand that says, "Can you do a tape?" and I'm just I'm just getting to the point of ignoring it. I used to say no. I used to be like maybe, try to be polite, but I don't want to fill out. I know a lot of labels do, but I just don't like it. It all sounds the same, and it's all wants to be about about dead bodies and private parts, and like so that could be had its place in art, I guess, in music, but gore grind just kind of like, I mean, maybe something I enjoyed in my teens and my 20s. You know, and back then, gore grind for us was like anal cunt, you know, Seth Putnam and all that.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, man, I saw them live, and I'm still a fan. R.I.P. Seth.
Speculum got to share the stage with them in 2007.
Shit, man. Where was that at?
This was in Hollywood at the Knitting Factory. Not the old Knitting Factory location. And when Seth went on, so I was there on stage with him. This is a story right here.
Let's hear it, man. This is great. You
know, Seth, rest in peace, but he's probably better off he doesn't hear this. But,
yeah, I'm sure he doesn't give a fuck still.
A lot of people didn't understand. They always thought he was drunk, but if you were in the scene and you listened to stuff on like back then MySpace and all that, he was in a coma for months. In 2005 or 2006, I think it was.
Yeah.
And when he came back, he wasn't quite the same as you would be after having a stroke.
No, he was in a wheelchair, and he's got all these skinheads falling around and shit. Crazy.
Oh, yeah. So they had him on a stool, and so he's doing songs. They ripped into some songs I thought they wouldn't get away with in LA. You know, they covered some songs from some of his other projects. I won't go by name, but they did that. And I was waiting for people to be like, fuck, you know, no, the whole crowd was like singing along. I'm like, okay. And so, you know, so he gets his set finished. He had done a face plant, and they thought it was like, you know, him doing it. No, he had a stroke. Half his body don't work, so he's laying there on his face.
Jeez.
And his band, there's Josh Martin and Nate Lenahan, he had backing him for that show, and they didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
They walked off stage at the end of the set, and my friend Zero, who was the sound guy for that stage that day, is like, "Hey, do you know where he goes?" I'm like, you know, I guess in his dressing room, and he goes, "Take him there." So I kind of like motioned Seth, he's like, "Come with me, man." Like, and he looks at me and he just falls in my hand like a baby, my arms like a baby. I'm like, "Oh God, he's big."
Dude, that's crazy.
So I carried him to the hallways of the backstage area of Ning Factory like a baby. I had some girl, another Jess, following me. During their set, she had been screaming for their song, "You quit heroin because you're a pussy." She said that thing like 100 dozen times. So she's like, "Oh my God, Seth!" And she started talking like that. I'm like, "Oh my God, this is for you, Seth, just from New Jersey or something." And he's looking at me, and then his arm, he squeezes my neck, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I'm like, look at him, and he goes, "I'm not doing that on purpose. I'm sorry." He says that to me. His arm was uncontrollable from the stroke. And so I'm like, all right, so I'm like, where's he go? The only dressing room I knew was one in the back, so I go and I send him in there.
Damn.
And I'm like, all right, you're cool, look over. And there's Scott, GR from Pig Destroyer. I'm like, ooh, shit. And so I'm like, and they don't look happy, but I'm like, I don't know where to put him. He's like, he's cool. Someone gives him a drink, like a martini or something. The girls are talking to him. I left. About an hour or two later, the promoter of the Church the Eighth Day, he comes up to me and goes, "Dude, why did you leave Seth Putnam in Pig Destroyer's dressing room?" I was like, Zero said, "You know where he goes?" I figured it was the dressing room. I put him in the dressing room. He's like, we had to mediate that situation because I guess Scott and Seth don't get along. And I was like, sorry, man.
Scott Hall?
Scott Hall from Pig Destroyer.
Yeah. They're from the same region and shit. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, well, he used to be in AC. You know.
They had a ton of members. Yeah, but
and so they didn't get along, and so I guess they had to mediate that situation. Same thing happened with the drummer. Another, give him rest in peace. The drummer of I Hate God and another sound guy. He also passed away. Rest in peace. I forget his name though right now.
Damn.
But I had to get in the middle of that. Because the sound guy was going to beat the living hell out of the drummer of I Hate God. But that was another murder fest. I was there for like 3 years. I was like a vendor and stuff. But
I remember that one, but I don't know. Fuck, I don't know if I went to that or missed it. Or...
I was there 2007, 2008, 2009. I basically had like a free pass with like 3 guest lists. And my friend Mondo would always show up. And, you know, we just kind of we always stay at Motel 6. That's actually where the Motel 6 on Whitley and Hollywood Boulevard, that's actually where Speculum and Birdeater will be staying for the weekend for the whiskey show because it's familiar for me. It can be a rough area, but it's also a tourist area, so it's not so bad.
Yeah, but that's gonna be, I'm looking forward to that show, man. And yeah, he said it's also possible to maybe do a live interview before.
I talked to the band; they're all into that.
Oh man, okay. Well, that's and that's like I said, man. This is all about, like, I look at some of the bills, some of the shows, and I mean, don't get me wrong. There's tons of great shows out there, but on the other hand, like, there's the real interesting shit is like the real underground shit, what you're doing, and a lot of other people that we kind of know mutually, like Eddie Giles and fucking there's so much good shit going on. I just want to document this and have a place for everyone to if they'd like to come on here and just talk about everything. And like, it's so interesting to know all this history about you. You know what I mean? And like you're playing with all these bands, or knowing these people. I mean, the Seth Putnam story is great, and I appreciate that, man. I appreciate what you're doing, and dude, I'm just so stoked to go to these shows, man. You're gonna have like any merch or fucking records and shit there or anything?
I got one last copy of the Speculum and Birdeater Parasite Lab Cut 7-inch. That's whoever, first come, first serve on that. But I got tons of Birdeater cassettes, like all the latest, a few, single copies of some of the older stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got like a whole case. I just kind of busted out. We got some patches, stickers, stuff like that. Some of it's DIY, some of it's like purchase to be made.
Right, yeah, and that's another reminder, May 22nd, Che Cafe, May 23rd, Whiskey A Go-Go, LA.
And the difference in those two is like, say, Whiskey, Speculum's taking part in the bill that's kind of constructed by the Whiskey. Che Cafe, that would be curated by me, whereas we got...
Yeah, maybe we could talk about some of the other artists on there. Man, one I'm looking forward to see again, Autophagia. I don't know if you've ever seen that act before.
Oh, Autophagia, Noah, yeah, he's played for me a few times, and he's opening and playing with a few shows. He's also got a spot on the on Stay Strange's Slow Death Festival, which was not an easy thing to do. So
damn,
and I'm going to be there as a vendor that day, June 7th. So Autophagia is like, I definitely full on support Noah. I'm hoping to get Autophagia. Actually, we do. Autophagia is going to be now that my mind slipped, Autophagia is going to be doing, as part of the next Harsh Noise Wall 4-Way Comp Series, Volume 3, they have a 15-minute track on there.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's going to be, so that's...
Because, if I could interject and sidebar really quick about Autophagia, it's like, I was kind of diving into like Alphamania lately, and just to like, I was listening to it in like a 2023 Dodge, just a really good stereo system, and man, I was just thinking to myself, this shit is just high tier, like next level power electronics noise, and I'm like, what else is out there that could be like this brooding and this fucking chaotic and gnarly? And I was just thinking about it, and I was like, dude, Autophagia, it's like right there the whole time, you know what I mean? And dude, I'm such a fucking huge fan.
The live performances I've seen, you can see Noah is like, he's expressing some emotion through the electronics,
dude,
maybe possibly from some frustration, which is the best thing. Like when I come off stage, it's cathartic to perform. You kind of release not only some endorphins, but some unwanted emotions and feelings that may have been lingering on your head and shoulders,
Oh yeah, for me, dude, that's what my Project Heretic is all about. That's all about demon exorcism, and actually, I was playing around with black magic, and I feel like I have maybe a host of something dark and sinister, but I think a lot of people do anyways, so who fucking cares?
I'm very familiar with the, like, let's say, I'm not going to say ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Excuse my French, but that shit's cheesy. Like,
yeah, it sure is, dude.
The spirit realm, I'm a little close to spirit realm. I've seen some things. When I was 12 years old for a year, I lived in a haunted house. I could tell some stories. One of them has become kind of like, due to some documentaries, it almost seems generic now. I say it, people are like, oh, shut up, you got that from that movie. So I don't even say it anymore, but it's true, and it was pretty crazy. I seen some stuff, and where we lived was a house built on where there was the stagecoach, like 100 years previous to that, like where people would be coming through, like let's say a name that people remember from that era, like Wyatt Earp, he's coming from Arizona after Tombstone, he came to San Diego, that's where he would stay and stuff.
Yeah.
So that energy was there, and it wasn't good, and I experienced that. And doing security, I experienced some stuff like in the San Diego Convention Center.
Yeah.
We chased a thing. We thought it was a person that had broken in, because we have a problem with a lot of people breaking in during conventions, and they'd steal like new TVs and gear, because convention, everything's new.
Yeah.
And so we're chasing this thing through the hallways, and it goes into a room, and we're like, all right. We saw the shadow. It was a person. It was like it made footsteps. We went into the room, the door shut, we heard it moving around there, tables and stuff, all right. And so my coworkers went, and they're like, okay, they got supervisors, they got the keys, we go in there, turn lights, nothing. And there was nothing, no way to get out of that room unless you open the window and you like basically jump to your death down to the showroom floor, because it was like an office room for like people that are like observing the showroom while they're making their surveys or whatever. And there was no one in there. My coworkers like, don't talk about this. They didn't want to talk about it. I'm like, we just chased a ghost or something.
Oh yeah, dude. There's so much crazy shit I've seen and that's out there, and like, dude, like authors like Michael Newton, and it's just, dude, yeah, it's so interesting.
You don't want to provoke it, that's for sure. You're talking about something being attached to you, and like I know that's become cliche with all these TV shows.
That's one of those shows are bullshit though, dude. Like I could go to one of those haunted houses right now. I could get a bunch of pig's blood from a butcher. I could go there. I could do some shit, and it would be crazy. But
it might not be. I wouldn't suggest that. You might be, because if something.
No, I wouldn't, because it'd just be terrible. It would be terrible for me for like many years after that. It's not like, you know what I mean. You don't play around with that shit, and
sometimes things like
that's why they go and they make up their own shit in their mind, and like, oh, there you go. If they really wanted to fuck around, and I'm sure there's people behind the scenes in Hollywood that know that too. They could totally do some hardcore black magic shit.
You should look into like the stuff, like the writings of Nicholas Schreck and stuff like that.
Dude, yeah. Well, I'm reading Demons of the Flesh, and I love it. I love him as a writer. It's interesting you say that, because, dude, like I was just internet archiving him, and I'm really into Xena Shrek too, and. Dude, they're on this Christian talk show, and he was talking about New World Order and all this bullshit, dude. And then after that, I was just like, fuck him, man, fuck that guy. But I still appreciate his art and literature for sure. But as a person, dude, like that's what Cywar Ltd is about. We're like against the fucking New World Order and all this bullshit, and standing up and not being like he's a like. Okay, just to be objective, like rich, fucking trust fund, New World Order kid that thinks never worked a day in his life, fucking, you know what I mean? Thinks the people that make the world go around should go away. Like, fuck you, dude. The working class, we're the numbers, dude, and this is our place, not theirs, and we're the 1% because, dude, we're the ones that are gonna fucking change the 99%. And that's the fucking reality. They're not the 1%.
The main thing I see with Shrek, and in my conversations I've had with him in like recent times, it's all been about Charles Manson. So.
Oh, you've talked to him in person, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, dude, that's interesting, dude. Could you ever get him on this show?
If you paid him, like I can't get him to do anything. You can't get him to really do anything unless you're paying. It's very monetary, let's just put it that way.
I would, yeah, I'm down. Like, you know what I mean? But it could be in the hundreds. It's not going to be in the thousands for fuck.
Not to, but it's kind of like one of those books. Like, hey, I got the information that you want to hear. in this book, 1995, or 4 installments of.
Dude, no, all that's there's no. See, I don't trust people like that because there is no such thing as information. That information, I feel, is gnosis, dude, and that's free. That's called. If you read Philip K. Dick, like Ballast, that's fucking downloaded from the ether. That's not something you learn, and that's something you have a near-death experience. Then next thing you know, you have all this knowledge, understanding you didn't before. And
oh yeah, he goes off on the Buddhism too a lot. He likes the Buddhist stuff, and so.
But yeah, it's just all about being pain and all that shit, dude. Pain will take us through.
His views are more right than they are left. He's taking, when he gets to that fork in the road, he veers right. So
has he? Do you think he's changed at all since like some of the earlier talk shows that he's?
From like, are we talking like?
Because Zena Shrek, she's totally changed. She's fully Buddhist.
He's a completely different.
They're divorced.
He's talks at length about it. He's a completely different person. He's
that's good, dude. I should have said fuck that guy because I still got a lot of work to do as a human being too. So
he documents his, as he calls it, his satanic past, but pretty much he's kind of like left that behind. Like I'm saying, he's more into Buddhist practices and stuff these days. From what I see and stuff, and I'm part of the group on Facebook, the Abraxas Circle. And so I pay attention to it. A lot of it is Maryland, not Maryland, that motherfucker. I'm sorry, but Charles Manson. Sorry if you don't. I agree.
No, that's so funny. Seth from Prolapse Catholic sent me something. We're talking. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm more into Manson." I'm like, "Oh yeah, Marilyn Manson rules, bro." But anyhow, I'm sorry.
No worries.
So yeah, Charles Manson and Shrek, huh?
Oh yeah, Charles Manson and Shrek. I think I told you before, off the air here. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I just took a hit off my vape. That I write and I've corresponded with infamous serial killers and criminals that are incarcerated.
Oh yeah. I didn't even know that though until you texted me. I was just like, I thought more talking about Speculum and but still, it's like so.
It's like I told you, I'll trail off.
But it all like
subject to the next.
Yeah, but that's what Cywar LTD is about, and that's exactly what you were saying about the gore grind, dude. It's like a bunch of the music's cool, but the substance is not there. It's like you're gonna go through all his work. Like for instance, I don't know if you've heard Mindcrawler, Total Voluntary Surveillance. That's basically the information I want to put into the music and art that I'm making, and it's got to have an impact. It's got to be something you want to listen to again, and it's gonna like help change the way you think and see the world, and you know what I mean? It's not just some throwaway.
CDR demos from Noah. I know that.
Cool. Yeah, I'll have some tapes for you at the show for sure. But
tapes are like another addiction for me. I got mountains of tapes. I need more and more.
Yeah, man. Me too. I've kind of had to take a break, just bouncing around, living hotel, shit like that. But anyhow, I'm ready to. I got a place and ready to get my cassettes all in order, and got some Grousem Kite cassettes from CW Productions. They just had a mega drop from B-Sot's discography. Tons of good shit I got. But maybe we can get into like you're a big fan of cassettes and music. What are you into lately, man? Like, what is something that is just has like been blowing you away that's worth mentioning?
It's blowing me away. I'm trying to think of something.
Or the last thing that really, just made an impact on you. You know what I mean? Mine was last year, Alphamania. Noah introduced me to that, and then I was just like, dude. After that, I'm just all about that shit. So something like
Let's see. I got some tapes that are right here that I've been listening to lately. There's I don't know if it's some lately. Even though this is old school, I had. Fad Gadgets Incontinent. I had that on repeat yesterday.
Yeah, that's like good, more like post-punk gothic. Is it? Am I right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love that kind of stuff. I love so much shit.
Punk. I had Flipper Blown Chunks.
That's a good one.
This is just my recent playlist. I think a Hydro Cajun incapacitated split cassette.
Oh,
and then this Delta Kane tape from Deathbed Tapes. And then just before I got on the phone with you, I was listening to Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds Murder Ballads. So
nice.
That was like my current playlist.
That's cool,
I'm trying
man.
to think of something new to promote though, like all those acts.
Well, you know, Deathbed though. Let's maybe you can hit there really quick. I don't know if you've seen any of their new releases. The Makita. Where Do You Stand? And that's fucking raging. Like it almost reminds me of like hardcore, but it's noise. You know, like power electronics.
We're talking about wait. Did you say
Makita?
Well,
You familiar with that?
Boom! He's like, let's hit one of the nerves.
Yeah. Also, they had that Greg Scott. If I'm not
it's
mistaken.
the project of the guy from Apartment 213.
Yeah, that's Makita. Yeah, and Lockwell, and he actually is. He lives in SoCal now, and he's that's an older project. If I'm not mistaken, and he's continuing. Makita, but it's a tape out on Deathbed tapes. Good shit.
Me and him recently had our differences, so.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, I mean, it's just it happens, man, and
it's actually from my end, it's kind of comical. For him, it was kind of serious.
Was it something to do with Christianity at all? Because I know he's like hardcore into that right now, and that that could be a wedge.
I made a little because he was getting kind of, I don't know, this kind of iffy on shows, this, that, jumping around. I was having my own problems. And then he asked me about my problems. I explained my problems to him. And then he kind of was talking about that to other people. And then we had crossed wires. And then I had this moniker. I was just doing it because it's fit. Because I said, keep Christianity out of power electronics. And then I got it recorded too. So he called and left a message on my phone here.
Yeah, really.
And he chews me out. And here, give me a second. It's gonna reach up.
Let's fuck it. You know, it's just all. You know, it's just all for fun. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, this is gonna be real fun. Oh, if the battery's not dead on my thing. Oh yeah.
And plus, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I went down, I took the J pill not too long ago, you know.
The J pill, what's that?
Well, I'm just, it's just some Zoomer speak just for, so I kind of was raised Catholic, then all kind of I gotta really watch what I say because it's gonna be on YouTube, you know what I mean? So, no V, so I gotta watch that. Because of the V though, I start just all the shit in the world, Revelations is all in there, what was happening. I was like, dude, I just feel like I needed like spiritual cleansing, and I start going
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I want to hear it. Let's
I might have to go through a few samples to get to this. Hang on, let me do this. I'm gonna do it real quick.
Well, I'll tell you. It's perfect. So yeah, dude, I just I start going to Orthodox church, and then I felt a little closer to God. Then I start asking these questions. I wasn't fully on board though either, right? I just wanted to go there and just anyone's allowed to go. I wanted to go and be there and just kind of go through the mass. Right?
I've had my experiences with religion.
Yeah, because dude, I saw this lady in this alley. She was all white and almost purple, glowing, and she just like walked in and walked out and disappeared right before that.
Let's see.
But yeah. My point being, though, I'm not like anti-Christian or like pro either. I'm just like interested to hear the perspective as a Christian. Cause
Sorry, I don't think
Trying to find this.
It's all good.
But he says it's. I'm stuck there.
Yeah, how about you just maybe find it and then send it to me, and I'll put that in the end. I'll edit that in. Okay.
Because basically he goes, Brian. He goes, I sampled it. He goes, Brian, don't do that. I forget what he do. He goes, don't do that. He goes, if you're saying keep Christianity out of power electronics, I must be doing something right. And then hangs up.
Exactly. Yeah, that's cool, dude. That's exactly right. Like, dude, you must be doing something right if you're getting that reaction. And, dude, whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I come from
and if people against Christianity, I'm for that too. I'm just live and let live, dude. Whatever you want to be, I'm cool with. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty deep. I wouldn't say like a Satanist, but I'm pretty deep in like I'm pretty deep Antichrist. I have had bad experiences with religious cults, and I've had escaping them and so on and so forth.
You never know. Yeah, dude. It's doesn't have a good backstory.
My dad's half of the family is really strictly Catholic, and like basically because I'm not, like I'm kind of lesser than that experience, and it's just my mom when I was like a teenager, like she had like I don't know if this is like a normal thing with parents, but she had a thing when she was, well, I'm gonna go check all these different religions out. I remember going to these churches, one church, and we're like, oh, this is a Christian church, and people were like throwing themselves on the floor. The pastor goes, oh, it's okay, God's just having his way with her. My mom's like, we're going now. But yes, it was weird stuff like that. I was like 12, I'm looking at this lady rolling around on the floor, and that guy says that, he's like supposed to be like the leader of this whole like 3-ring circus. And I'm like,
I get it though, man. Like, you know how just the day-to-day can just seem so mundane and boring, and just a lot of people are so the same. It's just like people want to feel something. I think they just put themselves into this frenzy themselves to have their own experience, you know?
Because if you boil it down to the truths of science and stuff, it's not that impressive. It makes us as humans look not that impressive, because we're really, in the grand scheme of things, we're really not that impressive.
I think we're the most amazing thing on the face of the earth, but they're brainwashed to think they're not. Like, dude, anything in your mind you can make happen. And that's like a superpower of the human beings that no other animal on the face of the earth can do. But people have been so distracted with Hollywood, these spells, the black magic. They're no longer builders, and I mean, we still do have some people, but not like the Renaissance period, the artesian kind of spirit of DIY. But that's why I'm just so enthusiastic about people making their own noise instruments, because it could lead to making your own buildings, making life more interesting. Doing things.
Definitely the construction or the creation of something can lead to the knowledge to be able to. And
that's the creator, dude. And that's why, we're the creators, because we need to create. If we don't, people get fucking depressed. They don't feel worth anything because they're not doing what they have gifts, and you waste your gifts, and they call it spoiled. They go unspoiled, and it's just you become rotten and. Man, it's just all fucking nature and a cycle, dude. It's
art, and it's just it comes from within. It goes back to
dude. Just look at all the music and shit that's been made, but it just seems lately, like it's just no real. I don't know how people are gonna believe in evolution when people obviously look like they're devolving. You know what I mean?
Like Devo hit that one on the nail on the head, like in the late '70s. They got that.
Man.
They were ahead of the curve on that idea and that fact. But there is.
But it's planned though. People are born pure no matter what, but they just become corrupted, and it's all distraction, Hollywood bullshit, and a lot of people are getting away from that, and I can feel an awakening. And just me personally, myself, I feel more clear-minded, or actually more objective and logical than I think ever in my life. Like, my mind seems different. I don't know if it's, there's definitely something happening. I can feel it, Native Americans wrote a lot about it, the quickening, other cultures, but mainstream society, they only accept what's on news or TV, and that's the whole fucking problem. That's why the independent perspective, the 1% I'm seeing, has such an impact. They're bored, Hollywood's dying, and that spell's wearing off, and people want something authentic, and to reach people in and draw a bigger audience, I think now is the time for just more of something creative, experimental, abstract, instead of just
something forward thinking towards the future, something new,
right?
Something that's like
not just verse, chorus, verse that's been done 1,000 fucking times to death. Even just starting up, hey, let's start up let's start up a dark throne band, dude. Wouldn't that be fucking cool? It's like it'd be a hobby, but actually to like go buy the music and I heard a lot of people, established musicians, say don't start a band, whatever, and I don't believe that. Just do something fucking creative, interesting, new, different. You know what I mean? You can do it. Whatever is in your mind, you can make happen on this earth. And same with your dreams. You can control them, and that bleeds over into this world. And that's the real magic. And that's what these Nicholas Shrek guys will charge you $5 jillion to find out and tell you at the end.
Oh yeah.
It's all about discipline and controlling, making your reality be dictated by your will.
The need for money, it distorts the reality of a lot of things.
Oh yeah, so they have to build themselves up on these big stages
you got to get
to
achieve like almost anything, even just to basically live.
Right.
And just to basically live these days is ridiculously priced on a lot of avenues nowadays, and so it's just you got to kind of navigate from within, and at the same time it's hard because. Like say, I hate saying my day, but I'm like, in my 40s, like back when I was younger, like things weren't like, say, Facebook, things weren't like everything, like if news hit about a subject, say like the dump truck that hit the whiskey, we haven't gotten to that, but I'm sure maybe most people know, I don't know. But that's right there on Facebook, boom, everyone's commenting, within minutes of it happening, everyone knows. Back in like, my day, and people would know the next day,
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, okay. So it's things are going faster, but at the same time, the intelligence, the evolution of intelligence is not keeping up with our ability to process all this information. So somewhere, I believe, in the meeting of the two, there's a stunting of growth, possibly for some core of the population of humanity, and possibly some, as has been proven by history, will kind of learn and grow from it, while others will just kind of like fall by. It's kind of like evolution. You just like the people that aren't.
What information is the most important? You know what I mean? Like, what has the most utility? Like how to grow your own food, how to fix your fucking car, how to build your shelter, how to build a synthesizer. You know what I mean? And I think that is where this kind of community, what I've seen so far as a newcomer, is like so kind of community driven, and a lot of times free, if not very inexpensive to attend and be involved in, noise, experimental, and just the acceptance. You can just go out there and bang on a pot and pan, and
that's the goal of the Che Cafe, the venue I book at. It's been there forever. My first shows there back in the day when I used to go see the Locust, one of my favorites. If it wasn't for the Locust, there wouldn't be no me, would be no Speculum in the creative world as I am now. That band, showed me how it was. I watched their evolution in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah, me too, man. It was, I wasn't the hugest fan, but man, they were just, they were crazy. They're just like, they actually really artistic, creative, like performance, and
for me, it was at the time.
I was too close-minded at the time, to be honest, so I wasn't ready for that.
In San Diego, like I was looking for something new, and I was into music. I was going to shows, and I'd go see something like Bad Religion or the Vandals or something. But it was something. But I was looking for something new, and I was drowning in a sea. Let's say a sea of new metal and pop punk.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, that's like, to me, yeah, that was hell. Like a pop
San Diego at the time, and I didn't know there was anything new.
Yeah.
And then I caught this. What did I get? I found a Locust CD. I don't know I think it was a split or something. I forget. But I listened to that. I go, oh my god! And then my friend was like, well, they're playing at this place called Che Cafe. Let's go check it out.
Yeah.
We went and saw it, and we were blown away. And then I watched the evolution of them putting on the suits. Like I seen them in Hollywood in 2001, open up for the Murder City Devils. And that was a wild Icarus Line, the Locust, and Murder City Devils, and that was a wild show. That was wild. Like the place was serving alcohol to anyone. When I returned the following year to see Sonic Youth in the same place, all the rules had changed. I hear the new manager, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. Like at the Murder City Devils Locust show, we were all just smoking joints up in the balcony, and the pit was crazy. People were smashing bottles against the wall. It was the El Rey Theater. I think it's still going.
But, dude, I saw him back in the day with A New Attack. I don't know if you've heard them. They were a really sick hardcore, like metalcore band from Orange County. And dude, I just can't. Some of these shows, dude, they just like blur together. You know what I mean? But those ones, I know for sure were there. But there were so many other sick ass bands there. I want to say Suicide Nation. There was this crazy. They're in that kind of vein, but they were way more black metal, and that was at the time I was getting more into black metal as like a hardcore background, you know. But yeah, dude. But the Locust and Che Cafe, dude. Man, it's just like those two things. Yeah, that could really draw like in newcomers, and dude, it's just. You know what I mean?
It's the environment of the Che Cafe, the volunteers. It's very welcoming. It's a safe space for people of. Basically, any kind of difference, and you could book shows there that are good. I've been booking shows there since about 2022.
I tried booking a show there. I never got a reply or a response. So I've heard,
that was my problem in the 2000s, and I never would get a reply. And like back then, we did one show with Phobia, I think, there, and it was kind of difficult, but things changed. And it's I kind of got a reply, and then they do screen it, and they're admittedly slow to response. It's not like they're being elitist. A lot of people think that about Che Cafe. It's been going around for like 20 years, but it's just that they're a little like I don't want to say slow on the uptake either, but they're just a little like oops. They get so many different responses.
I got you. That's better to know. Like sometimes you don't know. Like, you don't hear anything. You just think, oh yeah, whatever. Like let's just see it. Like, fuck this guy. But it's probably not even.
In 2022, I was like, holy shit. But they were like, oh yeah, we want to work with you. And then I've been kind of like last year, I did the show with Speculum opened up for MDC. I set that up. The Noise Summit last year, we got the Noise Summit coming up.
Yeah, maybe we can talk about that. That's coming up, October 3rd and 4th and 5th?
Oh, yeah, you're going to be playing there,
Mindcrawler and Heretic.
We have
the
legendary Gary Wilson headlining.
Oh, awesome, dude. Man,
oh, yeah. A lot of people know him through, like, in popular culture. They know him probably from, like, definitely from Beck using samples of his songs, and then more recently, Tyler the Creator using samples of his songs.
So this is the second annual Noise Summit Birdeater, right?
This will be the second annual one.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah.
We're going to have about 45 acts.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to be completely worn thin, but last year I was worn thin just in one day. I don't know why I planned 2 days, but people were like, make it bigger, make it better. I was like, all right,
that's awesome, dude.
We'll see. Oh, here, I got my notebook of.
That's why I wanted to promote this, dude, and saying like it's not. Even though I was saying like it's easy to get into noise and experimental and all, but still to get a show and all that, it's not easy. And but
not easy. It's not easy. A lot of people get on. A lot of people are like, there's a lot of those like you get on social media, the jokes with like, oh yeah, I got lucky to get paid for, I got 2 beers or something like that, or they gave me $5 and stuff. And early Speculum definitely had that experience. I kind of have things more, I wouldn't say regulated, more set up, and more more connected these days. So like, when Speculum does a show, it tends to be more, like if I'm doing something out of town. Like say when I go to like 924 Gilman up in Berkeley, it's we get. I don't want to brag or anything. I don't want to lay any numbers down, but we get paid well now for what I consider. Other people will be like, that's nothing. Other people are like, oh my God, you're doing noise set and you got what? So it's like there's different opinions on that. So
that's cool. That's a bonus because for me it's just about getting the message out there, and if I could give away a few tapes at this point, perhaps sell them in the future, but as a newcomer.
You just gotta keep like promoting. You keep doing what you're doing with like this this Warzone and stuff.
Yeah, man, I appreciate having you on here, dude. Like, it's just so serendipitous, dude. All the things that you're talking about bringing up, it's just like I didn't know what to expect. I heard a lot of things about you, and some good things, and also negatives too. You know what I mean? And that's
really, I'd like to. I just out of curiosity, what's some negatives?
I can't, dude. Honestly, I just can't remember off the top of my head. You know what I mean?
This guy didn't pay us. This guy didn't pay us or some shit.
This guy didn't pay us. No, and I was also even trying to think of a funny joke too, and I got nothing for you, dude. Maybe
that's all right. It's all right. It's like it's probably.
Oh, I did. No. I did. Okay, I do remember one thing. I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, I remember I was emailing back and forth with Seth. He's like, dude, this guy was like, he was carrying me around all rough, and I'm basically, I'm basically disabled, and this guy Brian is just manhandling me and throwing me around. I was having a stroke on stage, but other than that, I think maybe that was the only thing negative I heard. So.
Someone said I manhandled him like I was having a stroke on stage?
Seth Putnam. That's the only kind of real negative I think really coming off the top of my head. Singer of Anal Cunt. He's kind of complained about rough handling after he was having a stroke on stage, but
Wait. Oh, I was just talking about that.
But he seems kind of dramatic anyways. He thinks everything is gay, so it's probably.
Well, he's dead now.
But no, but anyhow, man, so it's not that easy to get a show, but these big 3-day fests gives so many people a fucking chance to be like, here's my act, here's my fucking tape or whatever, check it out. Like, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, we had a nice, it was like almost like a community thing going on, Noise Summit. All the guys that had come out from Arizona, they hadn't been out there for San Diego for the first time, or like to do a show for the first time. They've been out here maybe like, as on trips or whatever it is, personal life. But to do a show, they were all really impressed with Che Cafe. I know like Joseph from In a Dream, and then Parker from Eye of Earth, and I know John from Go as Death, both who were in the mega band. They were really, really impressed. Let's go down. Let me go down the line.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask you. Let's hear the roster.
We got Gary Wilson, we got Aquagore, we got Autophagia. We got me is Speculum, of course. We got the cult band Magpie Death Ritual.
What do you mean, Megadeth?
We got Walmart, Go as Death, Dummy Rifle, The Eye of Earth, Peeled Nails, Heretic, Mindcrawler, Insufficient Despair, Inyach, Static Garden, PAAC, grind band Scourge, another grind band called Girl on the Wall, Dial and a Prayer, Rampant, Logan 3 Double, Gnawing Teeth, and ICBM. And I know I got a few others, so I haven't listed here in my my notes, but those are the confirmed so far.
I like Logan 3 Double, even though he hates me now. It's all good.
It'll come around. We've had our problems. It kind of was mixed up with the Mikadiki or whatever.
I'm just trying to sell his tapes. I'm just trying to make a living here, dude, and he's taking the wrong. No, I'm just kidding. And then I would only sell Sour LTD shit. So, or unless I got something fair in a trade.
Yeah, we said that's kind of how me and because he was on the Harsh Nose Wall thing. I was having tapes playing, and then I said that thing on one of his posts for one of his fests he was doing up there in the Inland Empire, and then he kind of got upset, and said some things on the phone. I won't repeat that because out of respect for Logan. But and then we kind of got into it, but then we made up. We're cool. We've done some trades. I've actually purchased some pedals off of him when he's selling pedals.
Oh yeah.
And then I released the Harsh Noise Wall Volume 2 four-way. I was on there. When I do that, I'm gonna do all those 4. I got 1 and 2 out. 3's coming up this summer. 4 maybe in the fall.
Damn.
I'm gonna do all those individually. They're all in editions of 50 each. And then after that, I'm gonna do an edition of about maybe 20, if I can push it, 30 in a box set where all 4 comps come in a box set with different art in one of those cassette box, 4 cassette box sets.
Awesome.
Wrap around art and stuff.
You got any artists lined up for that?
I'm looking for a third. I'm actually looking for the 4th artist for Volume 3 because it kind of was up in the air. And
Nice.
we got for that we have.
And we're for the listeners, they can go ahead and listen or preview to any of these or anything Birdeater. You got Bandcamp or a website for purchase anything you want
You
to
go to
promote.
Big Cartel. It's all lowercase. It's Birdeater .bigcartel.com.
All right, yeah, man, I need to
You
go
based
there.
all the tapes. I got some distro titles on there, like the stuff for Rat Girl. Like Rat Girl is the one that released the Vasily Speculum Split CD, and I'll be doing some full lengths on Rat Girl.
Did you have Bloody F Mess too? Didn't recently do a re-release for him?
Yes, Bloody
Yeah,
F
man.
Bloody F Mess is a really close friend of mine. Yes.
That's cool, dude. You know what's funny? Because I would just like for just a long time be listening to G.G. Allen stories, dude.
Yeah, G.G. Allen stories. He will talk about G.G. Allen and stuff, but
Because that was a huge inspiration for me. Like, not as it's not as much as more. It just impact wise, but dude, just you know what I mean.
just
crazy person.
Gigi had some
interesting.
ideas. Gigi had some ideas, and he had a way of expressing it that people were like, "Wow, you couldn't say no, but you didn't want to be in the front row." So
Yeah.
it was something like that. And Bloody will talk about that. He does the stuff on the YouTube and all that. But
That's what that punk media guy he does. He actually was the guy that did the Carnival of Excess.
the Carnival of Excess CD. Punk also did the CD version of Dark Days Unfazed, which is I did the cassette version of. And Punk
See,
was,
that's great, dude. Yeah, that's I didn't know because I'm a huge fan of that, dude. And he was saying that Gigi, like one of his things was like, what's next? He's like, dude, we need to have a place where we can play at, where we can do whatever the fuck we want all the time. And dude, that's kind of on my list in my life that like I feel like I need to make that shit happen. Just for like Gigi Allen, dude.
I've done that. I was part of a warehouse thing in Escondido. I booked shows.
I'm talking like way out though, dude. Like I don't know, northern Michigan or something, you know.
Make it rural. Be careful. You don't
Get
upset
like
your roommates.
10 acres, dude, where there's no one around, and just have like a big fucking place. You could just do, but I wouldn't want to do
festivals,
Gigi
outdoor
behavior, but yeah,
mountain festivals.
dude, have some good events where you can just do whatever the fuck you want without any kind of regulations. You know what I mean? And that's just freedom to me. Just like, dude, that's what this shit's all about. It's just freedom, really. It's exercising that.
It reminds me. I got someone offered me a noise fest that's going on in St. Louis. I think in August. I gotta get back to them on that.
Dude, there's one in Idaho. It seems like is there a noise fest in every state? I mean, it'd be cool.
There should be because people it really should be paid attention to because it's becoming a international scene. It's always been, but it's growing into something new that you might not want to call just harsh noise or power electronics because that's a tag to go. Both
Yeah, it's
tags go
limiting.
back to
That's limiting. But noise, dude, just for sure. Like I don't know.
late 80s and the early or late 70s, early 80s. But it's something new needs to come up. That's why I'm saying you see a lot of my flyers.
Yeah,
lately,
dude, there's something in the
Oh.
air, dude. Not only that, like people are just kind of sick of the left wing, right wing bullshit, just everything. You know what I mean? Like there's so much shit in the world. People are
looking for something new, and they're
fuck
looking
yeah,
for something.
and now's the time for experimental and noise because like those are I feel like married and coupled in my opinion.
Yeah, it's all reaching, which
Yeah, it is, dude. It's like that Santa Ana Noise Fest. Like that was my first real noise fest, dude, and that was so crazy.
You'll see you'll see the basic stuff where it's like, you know, murder, scream, you know, like it's all that stuff that's like, where like literally the title of their albums are like serial killers' names and stuff. But then a lot of those people, because, you know, one of those people was myself, you kind of mature and you grow, just like Buddy Mess, he's matured and he grew in his own way, rock and roll. And then the noise, he's kind of, and I noticed that we got some kids we had that opened up just because they wanted to play at like a Noise Summit last year. And I was like, and it's like, you could tell they've been watching the White House and the Sutcliffe Gideon videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they were mimicking that. And I did that when I was a kid in punk bands. We all kind of wanted to be the Misfits or the Dead Kennedys and stuff like that. And so I see that, but I don't, some people will dismiss that, but I don't dismiss that because those kids will evolve, they'll grow.
They will, yeah. They'll keep that, if they don't fall off, they'll keep their influence, or it might change into something newer, I don't know, but.
But a year later, those kids have already done that, and they're going to be coming back to us with some of their new projects and the same projects
for sure
to the Noise Summit, and I'll get to witness that. Yeah, Eli, and there's Eli and Joseph. Eli and Joseph, they're just like 18, 19-year-old kids, and like I gave them a platform, and then they also give themselves their own platform. They were doing their own booking and releasing their own tapes. It's put in their own hands, and I was like, damn, when I was 18, I wasn't doing that. I was a lazy bastard.
Oh, me too, dude. Yeah, I feel like I was like brain dead, or just even possessed. Like I wasn't even making my own choices. It was just all impulse.
I kind of feel like I exist this long because I didn't feel I would.
Me neither, dude. I was like, dude, I would be fucking.
I exist this long to kind of like help foster the creativity because I noticed that's kind of been my calling. I didn't expect it to go even this far.
Yeah.
I did Birdeater. It was just to like the intense violence sexual situations tape. That's the first Birdeater tape. That thing sat on the shelves for 12, 13 years before it was finally released. It was recorded in 2006. I was just using Birdeater as a format or a platform, as you say, to release Speculum stuff. And then someone asked this, someone asked that. I got Michael Oslight from Europe. Oscillate, and he did his Drone Home tape, and then I contacted Dr. Heathen Scum of the Mentors, for better or worse, and we did a split. But he actually, a lot of people are like, oh, Mentors, the big R word, rape. They, but he honored when I said you can't have any songs on our split. Like if you're gonna sing about perverted stuff, it's got to be people really engaging in this. And he did. He came up with songs that was they're downright raunchy, but there's everyone in the lyrics is willingly engaged in the raunchiness.
Yeah,
so
I don't know. That's one of the bands I never really got into. You know what I mean? I like a punk, and I just never. I don't know. It's just never. But yeah, dude, it's an interesting band.
My connection with
his death is really El Duce. His death is really interesting. It seems like.
Well, my connection. Speaking of that, my connection with Mentors comes through my old cohort, Alan Wrench. So I know Alan. I've known Alan for 25 years. It's been a while. So and so I've heard some stories. We've all seen the documentaries and stuff. So.
Well, yeah, dude. Well, hope you keep going strong, man. Because you got a lot of good things lined up this year.
Shows, tapes.
The Gothically split, dude. Man, hope
the Gothically split. I got more stuff coming out on Rat Girl. Marty, he's the one that actually helped me bring it back. In 2019, Speculum had been dead for about 8-9 years at that point.
Yeah.
And then he had a Bastard Noise show, and he said, "You can play it, but you have to play as Speculum."
Dude, well,
I said, "All right, I'll do it." And then it snowballed into what we're doing right here. You're interviewing me about it.
Well, that's awesome, dude. Hopefully, we can line up a Heretic Speculum split on cassette, because I got some Cywar LTD stuff coming up soon, and
I'll be more than down.
Just
your label, split label.
Just want to plug a couple of them real quick. Gonna come on with Mindcrawler, Green Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and
sounds good,
dude. That one is really heavily themed, just about the Green Horsemen of the Apocalypse. You see a lot of these quote unquote green energy companies coming out, and their products are not what they claim they are, and they're actually worse for the environment and worse for the child slaves that mine the lithium than the systems already in place. And it's going to dive all into that. It's going to be a scathing take on just your normal outlook at green energy.
People trying to make a quick buck on something, and
dude, like, yeah, these wind turbine companies, dude, that just like they'll find an area of land and they'll put these things up, and these things cost so much money and they take so much energy to produce, to make them and to get them to the area, and they only last for maybe 10 years, and then they fail. You can watch the fail videos on YouTube, and then whoever is nearest to that land has to pay to get it all decommissioned. That company that installed it has no ties to it thereafter, and they're just predatory, just totally.
Are we talking about the
wind turbine companies like Crawley Wind Services and that?
Are we talking about fracking or bottled water here?
This is wind turbines services.
Oh, wind turbines.
Yeah, they're proposing to install them over here off the northern coast of California near Eureka, and yeah, it disturbs migratory animals. We just had some orcas spotted up here today. They can fuse those animals, and they could a lot of them end up on the shore right after they install them. They kill migratory birds, a lot of problems, and it's not even environmentally friendly. They're made out of composite materials. It's all bullshit, terrible for the environment, but taxpayers paying millions of fucking dollars to get them installed, and making someone really rich, and that's all that matters, the all fucking mighty dollar. And I'm just trying to bring awareness to that, dude, and I want to do a set of that and have we're going to be bringing visuals into the Minecrawler set with a projector and a video mixer, and just having imagery to go along with our set, and we're bringing it to the next level. And it's going to be another tour of duty for Sour LTD this year, 2025. Righteous.
You got your thing going on.
Yeah, man. And
you got your interests and your what you want to speak out about. I respect that. I can respect that.
Yeah, man, it's cool, dude. And it's like, I was, kind of getting apathetic for a while, but, I met a guy, became kind of close to me in a short period, not in my life, but someone I worked with. And, one of the first things he was talking about, he's like, "You've seen these wind turbine companies?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's just all the points I was just hitting on. I was like, "I'm glad you know that. I know that too." And then we were just good friends right after that. So, man, people are seeing through the shit and the spells and the tricks and the satanic trickery. So, you know what I mean? It's all good. And not all Satanism is fucking. I don't want to paint a bad picture, and it's not all evil, but the really nasty corporation, the corporate ones, usually are fucking really, Bell worshipers, Moloch worshipers.
I would say that you might see a lot of corporations using occult imagery, because it will just the same thing as they would use maybe say Christian imagery. It's to kind of control people and to
totally to control people. Like, look at even the state of California. It's shaped like an owl, and you know why? Because the owl will actually torment and torture the prey before they actually kill and eat it. So that's the level of sadism that is even outlined on the state of California. That's how deep it is.
Yeah, they got the old
and that Bohemian Grove with a big owl statue in the middle,
took
and
the words out of my mouth. Yeah,
and they do ritual tortures there. And if you don't think this is real, I'm glad you live in that world, because a lot of this shit people shouldn't. I don't think should.
I've seen some shit.
People shouldn't be exposed to it. It's not good for your mind. So I know when people say this can't happen, this is not real, I'm not living in this world, I totally get it. And I used to be angry at those people, because I feel like those people are the ones making it happen. They're the ones saying, we're like, right here, we got you. These people are doing this. Like, no, I don't want to see it. Like, you just said yes. And that's
the possibility.
That's what it takes, dude.
I would say,
for all of us to see it once.
Let's just say we'll call them millionaires. The possibility of millionaires, rich people that really they got nothing else to do because they've done it all.
Right.
And
like your Nicholas Strikes.
You go back to like Greek times, where people would make sacrifices, and it's not implausible to think that someone might be inspired by something they've read or watched, and they got money and they got time, and they want to make a little group or something that could happen. You know, take a look at movies like 8mm on a smaller scale. People are indeed, especially in this day and age, it's all over the internet. People are indeed kidnapped and murdered for snuff films and stuff like that, and it could be done on a grander scale within a group.
Yeah, for sure, it does. Like every fucking day, that shit's happening, and that's the total vibe of power electronics too. That 8mm black market type bizarre uproar, dude. That's what drew me into it.
Well, my perspective might be a little different, but I'm open to that possibility and stuff like that. But it's I would say it's more of less of a occult thing and more of just like a flesh trade. So
but it's a whole world that most people have no fucking clue that even exists, and I think that's even
like the Grove and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that stuff's used to that imagery is used because they want to do something kind of ritualistic, and it also it scares the common folk. So it's
for them, it's a power move both ways, but I don't know, dude. Like the problem with that is though it's so parasitic. They need these things to get power that they can't just. In
groups like that, you will find people that one side is championing. Let's call them blue and red. Blue is championing one side and red.
But what does that make, dude? That makes it's crazy. Your brain makes up magenta
together in those groups.
Yeah,
you'll find them together that they're not for any one interest. It's all for the interest is not for the people as maybe it's stated in like a political ad. The interest is for their pockets and their money and stuff, and they know that the planet's rotting away. And
but those guys will stab each other in the back behind.
We'll go back to another movie. I hate to quote Hollywood so much, but you go back to say like Elysium, and the idea of rich people going off into some kind of giant thing in the orbit to save themselves because the planet's rotting is not too far-fetched, or could be not too far from the future. And it's if you look at a lot of media, literature, animation, there's a lot of stuff where it's about the apocalyptic. You go from everything from. You take a look at Mad Max. A lot of people love that. You take a look at animation series like Cowboy Bebop. When they return to Earth, the whole place is destroyed because meteors keep hitting it and it's polluted. So that's a popular topic because it's a reality that can be one day. And
I guess, but a lot of things can be, but you got to just take what's in front of you at the moment and just. You know what I mean? I think that's part of the New World Order thing too. They want you to be afraid all the time. Like, oh no, we could be in some Mad Max thing in 200. It's like, I'll be dead and who gives a fuck? Like right now, it's good, and but they try to ruin even the moment for you because they feed off the suffering. Because
it's good. It's good to definitely have the individual perspective. It's also good to know that, like, on a grand perspective, something that we would find grand, like, say, the pyramids, the Sphinx, like, look at that. On the grand scale of things, in the cosmos, we're just kind of like fleas on a dog's back. And we don't really matter. And things that we see as permanent and long-term, or people don't want to let go of something like a statue or something from the past that represents something. Like, things will be changing. The change will never stop, and it might not be the change that one person or one group wants, but it's a change that's coming, and it will go back and forth and evolve. That's part of what the blue and the red's about. It's to stunt the evolution, because you're going back and forth on topics that have not changed for over 20, 30, some 40 years, and there's been no solutions. It's just been a topic to use to make money and to put people into put rich people.
Dude, no one's gonna save you but yourself. And you know what? Like,
enjoy what
We
you got.
could be fleas.
That's what the music and the noise, enjoy that, like, at times, because we're not permanent. One day, like, I'm sitting here I got, like, in my room is basically like a music and a video store. Wall to wall, DVDs, music, 7 inches, cassettes. And one day, I'm always thinking, like, well, I'm always protecting my collection. One day, I'm gonna be like, literally, like, probably like dust and urn getting spread at a beach or getting buried in a cemetery somewhere.
Yeah.
And all this stuff is gonna be either an estate sale or a thrift store.
No, dude, that'll be in like one of your friends' fucking collections, dude, wouldn't it? Like that's what I feel like when I pass. Hopefully, whoever's into this shit that I know is like, come on and get it. Come and
You
get
never
it,
know,
dude.
because the people I live with in my immediate situation, family, and the people that, you know, I work with or deal with on a daily basis, they don't really see the value in what I see the value in my stuff. When I talk about my tapes, they look at me like I'm talking about aliens, man.
But dude, I'm sure you know a lot of people that do, and I'm sure your stuff will find and that's the cool thing about it, dude.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know what I mean?
John,
You spent all this time with this stuff, and then, you know,
I was
eventually
joking
someone
with
else is
John of
gonna
the
have
Mega
it.
Band, John of Goa's Death, of A Dial of Prayer, and he's also in the Mega Band. We were joking, and I was saying, I said, well, one day, because, you know, back to the Egyptian theme, you know, the pyramids, I said, I want you to you guys are going to build a tomb. All this stuff, and you bury me in there like I was, sitting here on my bed or my chair.
Dude, that'd be cool, and you can go in there and hang out and like listen to some records and shit. Like that would be cool to actually have a property where you have like these like tombs of these like noise musicians where you can go in there and like listen to some Speculum, and like there you are mummified like in the corner and shit. Dude, that's like next level. That's better than the Rock and Roll Museum. Like that's Cyber LTD level
I got like
creativity,
a giant carved
and that's how important we are,
marble
dude.
Speculum. A few feet over, there's Eric Wood, and there's this giant carved skull from the Man is the Bastard Noise, and over here, and it's just like a big thing of it's just that one black and white album cover. We have Merzbow. The rest of
Dude, I gotta tell you, I don't want to keep you too long. I know it's taking to the hour mark, but I gotta, if I can tell you an Eddie Guile thing really quick. It's just funny hearing you say all this stuff, like, you know, I've heard it before. I was thinking that, like, kind of how we're kind of like cosmic fleas or something like that. I'm like, you know, in the grand scale, I don't matter. I was going through this kind of like, I don't know, stoic kind of period, and then he's like, no, like, you're not, you're somebody, dude, you know, he's like, you're John Henry, my friend, you're this, you're Mindcrawler, and then, dude, like, I was struggling with that for a long time, and it just, like, kept reverberating, and I was like, dude, I realized that, like, dude, how much, how lonely a road this has been, and finally to connect with people, and finally finding, like, something that I really enjoy doing was doing like experimental noise live. It's just like, dude, this shit is important, and it can save people, and it gives you, you know what I mean, passion. And like you said, the world might be chaos, but that's the only constant, dude. Like, you know, spending a lot of time.
You gotta find humans gotta find their own purpose.
Right, dude. And that's
human beings.
Yeah, this is a really good one because it you know, it can involve a lot of different aspects of creativity, and it's you know what I mean,
it's
unlimited.
like, you know, take a look at the evidence of what up to this day, they're learning more and more about Mars, and it's looking like we may have been there before and somehow transferred over here, because at one point, thousands, possibly millions of years ago, Mars was just like Earth. You know, it had water and everything. It had trees, it had life, and what's left now is basically fossils, but we can't get there with current technology except for, you know, sending little machines that get pictures and stuff. So, but it's coming out that, yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, we're not much. But individually, with one's own conscious, they could create their own reality and their own stuff, and within their own person, as well as socially, because we're social beings, just like any animal. I have my pet rats, who I value very much, Mildred, and I got Mildred and Lydia. I got to give them some radio time or whatever here. But yeah, they're just like us. They're social, they need each other, but sometimes they want their time alone. And sometimes they create, these rats, they'll create things. And maybe just like little things they're sleeping in, but I've seen them create, you know? And so everything kind of has playfulness, creativeness, and you just kind of like gotta be, you know, in yourself, because in the grand scheme of things, it's just going to be, it's all electrical impulses and stuff, and a lot of people don't want to accept that.
I agree with you on that, but not on the Mars, and it's insignificant. I think this is the center of it all. This is where all the action's happening. This is the giant virtual video game. There is no going to Mars. There's a firmament. They had Operation Fishbowl. Look it up. They tried blowing up this firmament. This is a closed little system. We're all stuck in here together in these bodies. And all that NASA is just fun money out. Look at it. They don't do any. If they were really up there, dude, they would have a fucking reality show. They'd have hotels. They would be fucking trashing the place like we do here. But we can't leave this. And that's my reality I'm living in. And not to see yours as any less valid, or we're here and to divide. And I had a great time talking to you. And we're here.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah, to have different perspectives.
Consciousness is that. Of consciousness of each individual is you can formulate individually or in groups ideas of how you think the existence might be.
And that's how your different noise project, you're gonna sound different. Like we're all individuals, and to have also to speak where we could have differences but not fight, and say you have to think my way, or we're both valid. And I think even when we die, like it is, whatever you think happens is what happens. And if you think nothing happens, perhaps nothing happens. We'll never know. But
energy can be strong, energy can be weak. If we turn on the energy in each individual, and if you take a look at, we're talking about the spirit world, it's
all oscillations, dude. It's all oscillation. I think that's all it is, and that's what noise music is to me. And you know what else? Saturday was National Migratory Bird Day, and you look at their waveform on apps like eBird, it's just noise. It's their noise. They're like the original noise artists. So. Oh yeah, we put out birdseed. We got blue jays, doves, finches. It's in nature. What we're doing is also like this is how like our spirit force sounds 100% without trying to. Water it down, being formulated into like chorus, verse, chorus, rock songs. You know what I mean? And this is the truest, rawest, and that's why I love it the most. And that's why I love talking to people involved in it, because they're very interesting and open-minded. And Brian Stuhr,
my stuff comes from a lot of thrifting. My music, my way I do my stuff, it comes from a lot of I use secondhand instruments and machines. Sometimes toys and machines that weren't meant to be used as instruments.
That's what it's all about, man. Changing your perspective. And I learned that in life. Like, if something seems terrible, just change the way you look at it. It's like, all right, like this is actually good. This is good for me, And
if something is affecting one negatively, be it a habit,
and that's magic, dude. It's just
be it an outside force, and you can when you change like that. If you could escape a habit or escape an outside force of negativity that's affecting you,
right?
Your brain will actually grow.
Right, dude. And also like your aura and your electrical forest, if you could do like a, capture that with some kind of infrared camera, you would just see it like growing, you know what I mean? Instead of like you getting all stressed and dying out, just like, all right, cool, fucking bring it on, dude.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of meditation. One time when I was homeless, I was sleeping on a beach. I didn't know where I was. I was a girl I was with. She kicked me out after a night together. And so I was running to the beach. This was in Encinitas, up by where Noah lives now. And fell asleep. I woke up to two Buddhist monks. They invited me in, fed me, let me chill for a while. They said, we meditate. I was like, you know what? I just like to sit in silence sometimes. This works for me.
That's cool.
And so the meditation thing has kind of been a thing for me. I do that. And you can find a way to...
Oh, I love it, yeah. Sun gazing, too. I've been doing that. It's not for everybody, but, man, it's just an amazing experience,
Just gotta, sometimes, they say different strokes for different folks. That's what my dad used to say.
Yeah, getting grounded out in nature, though, yeah, it's all good. It's just a different, it's a different frequency. It really is. It's different. I was just heard a podcast about it. It's just like it has its own resonance. I live in the mountains
of Alpine, where I've got nature all around me.
That's awesome, dude.
A raccoon was in the yard the other day. My parents have taken to, we got wild rats in the trees that are eating the birdseed, and they sit out there, because I got elderly parents I take care of. And they sit out there and they watch them. And I go, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're rat watching them. I go, oh, folks, oh boy. And
That's
so
funny,
like,
yeah.
But yeah, it's Mother Nature can be, it can be rejuvenating to go out there. Being out here in the mountains, I can walk to Wrights Field. It's a nature preserve. We got spadefoot toads that, in vernal pools. And you could sit out there, and one time when I was sitting out there and I was younger, as before it was a preserve, we used to call it the mouse fields. Those kids used to have keggers out there. I passed out one time, I was sleeping, and I woke up surrounded by coyotes.
Oh, wow.
Now, people out here fear coyotes, but coyotes fear us more than most people fear them.
Yeah, but I bet they could take on a child or elderly, maybe.
They could, probably a rabid one, but these coyotes, there's about 30 of them. They're looking at me, I stood up, they spread out and stuff. And another time I was walking, I come back from a friend's house here in Alpine, I'm walking, and a coyote comes, he starts walking. I'm like, all right, so I start speed walking, so he starts walking, I'm like, all right, buddy, what's up? And then we got to a fork in the road, I look at him, he looks at me, and he goes that way, and I go this way, because my apartment's this way, I guess his apartment was that way. So he went that way, and it was like, he was just like, hey, I need someone to keep me company on this couple block walk. And I walked for like 2 blocks with like a coyote 1 foot by my side like it was a dog.
That's cool, man. Yeah, it seems like a cool area. I've never been up there. I always wanted to check it out, dude. I gotta go up there sometime.
Cleveland National Forest.
Yeah, man. I'm a big outdoors guy, so
We had some this recent group went out there and they erected a giant cross on Easter on the Indians' land in the National Forest, and that caused a ruckus. And definitely, some of us didn't like it. Others felt that it was crucial to their faith, but some of us felt that it was maybe a little rude, because there's a time and place for everything. So.
Yeah, time and place for everything. Keep Christianity out of power electronics. I'm just kidding about that. I don't care. I think it's open for everybody. You know what I mean? It's a joke.
That sample I couldn't find.
But don't forget to send that to me, man. And you know what I mean? I think we should about wrap it up, though, and I'll have to have you back, and we're gonna have the live.
I could go on till midnight.
Live hotel one. Yeah, we said to keep it to an hour. We're about an hour and a half, but man, it's been an awesome talking with you, and man, you're such an interesting dude, and there's so much more to talk about, and
I could go on forever.
Yeah, you could, but we'll have to have you back, and you know
Talk
what?
about the Unarians, the cult of the Unarians.
Yeah, you can have Noah on. We can have a 3-way talk about that. He's dialed in about them, and I think even Eddie Guile. So maybe we could have.
Did he tell you about me growing up in El Cajon? I'm going to throw this one last one. About me growing up in El Cajon, we go to Ralph's or Vaughn's, and there'd be Spaceship Ruthie, just as you see her dressed in those videos, shopping at Vaughn's, and we'd say hi, and she'd wave to us like she was like Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Or you'd see her station wagon with the UFO going down the freeway, and me and my little brother, 4 and 5 years old, waved to her, and she'd wave to us like Princess Diana.
That's awesome, dude. I'll be like, "Hails, Imperial Queen of Nebula."
They're pretty. One time they came they sent one of their guys. I had a philosophy class in high school, and during lunch, and they sent one guy to talk to us about the Unarian. It's pretty peaceful. It's out there, but it's pretty peaceful.
No, dude, that sounds cool, man. I mean, I don't buy into anything really. Like, I wouldn't just be like, "Oh, cool, I'm going to join you guys now. I believe everything." You know what I mean?
The triangle out there by the Salton Sea. They call it a triangle. You go out there by the Salton Sea, the desert, near Coachella, a little right to the area of Coachella.
Yeah, and the Borrego area.
You could go out there and spend the night, and it's guaranteed you're going to see a UFO.
Oh, dude, yeah, I've seen it before, but I don't think I think they're orbs, dude. I don't know if actually, because what UFO means unidentified flying object.
The thing about out there by the Anza Borrego Triangle is you will see silver ships in the sky.
Oh wow, man, that's crazy.
I've seen it with my own 2 eyes.
I've seen shit too. I've seen out in the hills these orbs just come down and line up the entire hillside and then fly away just so like nothing else I've seen before. Then come right back and hover around, and like everyone in the car was screaming, freaking out. They were just the energy was intense and terrifying. But I was interested. I was like, what? I thought it was UFO. I was watching all the X-Files, but then I heard the Chris Bledsoe story about his experience, and I think he's the most legit experience and explanation for these things. But it could also be crafts. I don't know, dude.
They will chase your car through Anza-Borrego.
Could be military also. You can't ever count that out. But
we used to camp out there one time, and speaking of Anza-Borrego, it was like 1993. I was 13, and one of their those stealth bombers comes out of the sky. You don't see it, and it was just like 60 feet. All the dust and everything blew us. We were kids. We were looking at that. It was something else. Like, wow.
Yeah, how much do you think one of them costs? Like,
a lot. Whatever the government's spending on that, it's a lot when it comes to those things.
You can look up on Deagle.com. They got all that information. It's got to be like some astronomical. It's not just $1 million, dude. It's got to be like fucking $100 million. You know what I mean? And what is that all for? And that's what we're kind of,
ex-girlfriend of mine, her dad used to be a military contractor, and I worked for that company for a little bit.
I was too for a while, man. I know all about it. There's so much fucking. That's how these dudes get rich. It's not glamorous, dirty money, dude. They gotta have dehumanize a whole other civilization and have murder for them to make money, dude.
You got
false flag events, all this bullshit to get these people murdered and all riled up to approve of it and get these companies to make billions of fucking dollars, dude. It's sick, and hopefully this episode is getting nuked for it, but it's.
But when you give power to someone, like say like you or me, if we say think about you sitting there on millions and millions of dollars, it very well could corrupt you.
Well, I like DRI's out like war crime. War is a crime. That's how my outlook is, dude. Fuck war, but you know what I mean. It's the way it is. I think I got that agnostic outlook that this is actually how we're living and experiencing.
I was doing security at Coachella.
There's nothing you can really do to change it. So
Marines that were stationed in Iraq and Afghanistan, and some of them, they got them stories.
Oh, I bet, dude. Yeah, the Joker, that metal guy, he's talking about listening like Deeds of Flesh and blowing dudes away with a 50 caliber fucking turret.
Oh yeah, one of my supervisors, he had like 153 kills. Yeah. And like that man, like I'd be sitting there reading a book at my shift, or we watching like the Hilton downtown for one night. I'm sitting there, and then all of a sudden, I'm the hype because and you'd see someone coming, but no, he'd be right there, his face. What you doing? I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch. Wherever you learned that? I mean, I was like, damn, dude, they Navy SEAL motherfuckers.
Yeah, man. Some people are just born to kill, dude. It's just straight up.
Oh yeah. It's kind of. He said the craziest thing was that a lot of them say the craziest thing was coming back into civilian life, and that's why they do security because.
But dude, they're all like badass, but then they're all scared of fireworks. I don't fucking get it, dude. Like
some of them aren't. The ones I work with, because we're working at events and stuff. We'd have fireworks things set up, that's why I stopped working. I ended up.
Yeah, we're so badass. Like, how could you just be scared of some? Because I know you're just being fucking bombed constant. It's a bombardment concert.
I want to be at concerts. But almost getting caught up in the Las Vegas massacre, that was something that's something you probably really want to hear about. But
I did a lot of research into that one. We'll have to have you on the other show on Rumble so we can really dive deep into that one.
I had a hotel room. It was canceled. I canceled my shift. I turned on the news next day, and I was like, fuck, because I was supposed to be right there in the barricade. The supervisor I was supposed to work with took a bullet to the head and died.
Yeah, we'll have to have you talk about that, and also the killer side of you. We didn't know about all the serial killer stuff. But,
I'm not the killer. No.
Well, I know, not you, but your interest.
The killer side of you. Let's get into the darkness. Dun.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what I mean. Like I'm sorry, I'm not the best public speaker. I'm trying to do my best here to get the fucking.
You've actually been doing real good so far.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that, dude. We're not getting too much feedback in the comments, but you know what I mean? If it is, I'm not giving up, and there's still more interesting people.
That's not Speculum guy. I heard about that guy. He's great.
My dad told me to stay away from him.
Oh, dude, I've gotten that.
But no, dude, no, man. I love, the Organized Dorks 7-inch, all the
I
fucking.
love Cats. Me and Ben don't get along, but I've met Cats forever. I wish he was still here. When I was able, just before he passed, he got copies of the Intense Violence and Sexual Situations tape. And he said, about time. And I said, well, you and Hated Principles used to wait forever to release LPs you'd sit on. So it's kind of a thing, But yeah.
Yeah, dude, you got to get, dude, I'm telling you, man, you got to get that repressed on Nuclear War Now, dude. He's got his own.
We got the Hated Principles. Right now, all I need to do is print some covers. I got the
do you know what I mean, dude? It's got to be done, bro. I need to get a copy of that. Nuclear War Now, he's got his own.
Hated Principles, Speculum. It's
press.
material that he sent to me that's on nothing else.
Well, let's make it happen, dude. I get a nice Speculum T-shirt also.
I'm hoping to get those copies done before the Whiskey Chase show, but we'll see what funds I get between here and there to make things happen.
All right, man. Well, you know what I mean? If you need a spot, a couple hundred or whatever, let me know, dude. Can make it happen. But
say again?
if you need a spot for any shirts, let me know. We can make it happen. But
oh, you printing shirts?
No, for to just get some. I would like to too. If you got a printer, maybe we can work something out behind the scenes and get also get some.
I usually go down to
get some Mindcrawler T-shirts, some Cyber LTD shirts printed up.
I was gonna have the place, the print shop. Autophagia is playing with us June 14th there. Erection Reels, Speculum, Autophagia, and Peeled Nails. The guys that work there at the print shop, they're doing some pretty good deals on prints, on T-shirts. Aaron from Peeled Nails showed me some shirts they printed for him, and they look pretty top. And I talked to
hell yeah, dude.
Colin, he's the bass player of Def Club.
Yeah.
Justin from the Locust. I talked to Colin, and he had some pretty good deals. I was going to do that last month.
That's the most important part.
yeah. But it's always good to have, it's a print shop, and it's a clandestine venue. We can't really give out the address,
Hell yeah, dude. So I'm all about that. That sounds cool, man. Well, thanks again for joining, man. And could you tell everyone where they could find you? You
can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. Look for Birdeater Entertainment. If you just kind of run that in the search bar, it usually comes up first with Birdeater Entertainment. But and Speculum too. You can find that on Facebook. Speculum on Facebook, facebook.com/Speculum999. Again, the Big Cartel page if you want to buy some tapes and CDs, distro and label stuff. That is Birdeater, all lowercase. It's birdeaterent.bigcartel.com. And then I forget the Instagram tag, but it's Birdeater_entertainment for Instagram. And that's about it. I keep it low. I didn't want to do I used to just do it word of mouth. People have to contact me in person.
Yeah.
But people kind of wanted stuff, so I did the Big Cartel page.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I need to go there and buy some
Give
shit.
people option with, some people are like, I know you don't always want to contact the artist, you just kind of want to buy some of their material and check it out. And so it gives them an option to be a little anonymous, I guess,
Right, yeah. But anyhow, and then also May 22nd and May 23rd, Speculum Live, and also October.
Cafe in La Jolla and Whiskey a Go-Go on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yep.
22nd, 23rd.
October 3rd, 4th, and 5th, Che Cafe also.
Just 4th and 5th.
4th and 5th, all right, well there you go.
And then you'll have June 7th, I'll be vendoring, and Autophagia will be performing at the Stay Strange Slow Death Festival.
Oh, nice.
June 14th at the print shop, you got Wretched Reels, Speculum, Peeled Nails, and Autophagia. I got a show at the place August 7th at the Beat, and then there'll be a few more shows coming up, and I might return to the Whiskey in the fall, opening up for a little more reputable band than the Zeros.
Okay, awesome, dude. Yeah, well, I look forward to it. Whiskey's a good venue, man, and I feel like I get a full-on noise lineup at the Whiskey, dude. That's I'd really like to see
Some
that.
possibilities have been tossed around the Halloween time opening shows. Possibilities, nothing is set in stone on this, but possible, like 45 Grave, Carnivore
Oh,
AP,
dude,
something
hell,
like
I
that.
love 45 Grave. Dude, I actually kissed Diana Cancer before, so.
Oh yeah, something like that, or maybe even the what was it? It was the Christian Death. Not
Oh, dude, fuck yeah, man.
not Lord Valor, but what's her name and her husband Agnew.
Frank, the Agnew,
The
dude.
original players, they tour and they do the Philly Theater of Death album live.
Dude.
So Speculum might be opening set for that as well.
What? Oh, man, that's huge, dude. I gotta be there for sure, yeah.
Oh yeah. I always try to bring them down to San Diego, but they're like, oh, this and that, and then maybe there might be some events with, of course, in the tapes I'm releasing from David Lee Hart, whom a lot of people recognize from Tim and Eric's show on Adult Swim.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually Intense Violence and Sexual Situations. That's where that title came from. They used to have the thing is there may be intense violence and sexual situations.
Oh, dude, I remember that now, man. I used to love that show.
Yeah, because they would repeat it every time, between.
Yeah, I remember that now, dude. Yeah, it's funny when I saw that. I was
And
like,
it sounded to me like a generic death metal album, and we were trying to do a mock generic death metal album. What that is, if you kind of hear it, you can kind of hear it. It's like mock. So I just went with that title, and it's because it just seems like a basic, like something that you'd hear Cannibal Corpse throw out there or something,
oh yeah, dude, yeah. Well, man, anything, any last words for you on this episode?
Last words.
Speculum.
The old days, dude, when I used to do that. I so avoid the grind vocals these days.
Yeah.
You might hear me shout Power Electronic Stop. That might be coming out of the Mega Band, but.
How about some falsetto? Speculum.
I've done that in jokes before.
Okay.
Don't forget, like when I opened up for a thrash metal band, Hyrax, I was butt naked.
Oh, dude, I love Hyrax, man.
We opened up for them. Caton's a friend, and we opened up for them in 2007.
Dude,
I came out on stage and naked in a ski mask. We had about a 15-minute set, and the sound guy gets on the loudspeaker and says, "Call the cops!" So my ass took off, back naked backstage, and ran to Hyrax's dressing room. They're looking at me, fuck. I took off a ski mask, and I go, "It's me." And Caton's like, "What the fuck's wrong with you? God damn!" He starts laughing. They offered me some whiskey.
Dude, all right, man. You can't. Okay, I gotta tell you one story, really quick. I know I said it very close, but dude, you brought it up, man. It was at Showcase Theater. There was this one bandana thrasher guy. This guy was like 6'5", 300 pounds, just destroying everybody. No one was moshing, and like, Caton got on the mic after the song ended. He's like, "You guys gotta chill out there. Just relax. Just kill everybody, bombs of death!" And the guy just started fucking everybody up again. Oh man, it was crazy. But
I think I was at a show when that guy was doing that in the pit. I remember it was FKU and Gruel at Showcase Theater back then, 2007.
yeah, dude, yeah, I remember that. But yeah, it was like a fucking high
Missed that
racks,
place.
dude.
That was good venue. It was right next to the friggin' police department too. How they got away with the shit they did, I don't ever know.
I don't know either, but it was great, dude. And next, yeah, we gotta have some showcase stories next episode. But anyhow, yeah.
Kettle Cadaver, remember that? I can remember that. Have you ever seen that? Woo!
Oh yeah, Temecula black metal's finest.
that crazy guy was messing himself up on stage at Showcase. Oh damn!
Yeah, dude. Yeah, some good shit. But
Wild shit.
But
good as
good as Temecula black metal can be, right?
Yeah. I remember Speculum did a show in 2005, Chain Reaction, with some band called Dark Union, and then one of the guys ended up shooting at a church, and I think he's still doing time for that.
Really? That's evil.
These guys are nuts.
He's like, I'm evil. I'm gonna go shoot at this church.
I never really got the corpse paint thing. It wasn't my deal. Like, but we've done shows with a lot of black metal, some black metal, thrash metal, Municipal Waste, Murder Junkies even, Merle Allen.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, the Heretic set is going to involve, it's going to kind of almost be like a nod to like Be Heretic in my, but in like a noise format, so.
Wait, what was that again?
My Heretic set for the Noise Summit, it's going to be more of a noise black metal, like not to
Sweet.
be heard. So I don't know. There might be a corpse paint involved. I'm not sure. We'll see.
It's like last year it was all electronic noise, and it kind of, I felt that it was good,
Yeah.
but I wanted to open it up, so that's why I brought Gary Wilson, and we got like the grind bands like Scourge are pretty good here in San Diego.
Well, that's good, man. Yeah, it's gonna be a good variety. I like a mixed bill. That's always something I'm saying, dude. A mixed bill, you can never fucking go
garage
wrong.
punk bands, and maybe some anarcho punk bands.
Hell yeah,
and
dude.
and then we're gonna have the noise. That way, it's like mixed in, so it's like a lot of people like don't like mixed bills, but for me,
Oh, I love it, dude.
Have you ever been to like just a straight hardcore punk show, or just a straight death metal show, or a third, like especially death metal, but a third band, you're like, okay, blah, blah, blah. I get it.
Yeah, you know what that's called? That's called all you can eat
You're
orange
there for a certain
buffet.
act, but like every act kind of melts into each other.
Yeah, it's called orange chicken buffet. It's like all you can eat orange chicken. That's all there is. Get it while it's hot.
And so Noise Summit, it'll be a grind band, and then there'll be a noise set.
Dude, I'm so looking forward to that, man.
And a noise set, and it's probably with Gary Wilson, we're probably gonna draw a pretty wide crowd. I mean, I think he's touring in Paris right now. I mean, he's signed to Cleopatra Records, so.
What, dude? Yeah, I gotta do more research about this. But yeah, man, I'm gonna have a bunch of Cywar propaganda there. So, man, I'll be able to give it to a lot
I'm
of
looking
people.
forward to it. You can have a whole table. Stay Stearns will be there. Breeders will be there.
Hell yeah, dude! I'll get a banner printed
We'll
up.
have a table. Reanimated Records, the store might bring some stuff like horror-related memorabilia stuff and artists and stuff, and try to mix it up.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Well, thanks for putting all that together, and thanks again for doing this episode, dude. It's been great
No worries.
interview,
Thank you
dude.
for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
always
dude,
enjoy
I can't wait to meet you in person, dude. Coming up next week, dude. That's
next week. Oh yeah, that shit's around the corner.
yeah. Woo! Time's going by quick, dude.
We get there, we go straight from Che. I don't know if you got a place to stay on. Are you coming from Northern California?
Yeah. Well, I got a place to stay down there, Wildemar, beautiful Wildemar, California.
Righteous. Yeah, because we'll be at the hotel in Hollywood.
Oh,
We'll probably set up a time and all that.
hell yeah! Yeah, I want to go. Hang out in your
I'm saying if
hotel
we have no
room.
place to stay, we might have an extra spot, you know.
I need to get like one of those big poofy hair wigs and like some spandex pants. And a big bag of cocaine!
Go to YouTube and look up one of the opening act just before the Zeros, Mike Roberts, and you'll be oddly surprised.
Mike
It's saying
Roberts. All right. Because I just plan on watching Speculum.
Not with the R-O-B's. His last name is spelled Roberts, R-A-W-B-E, Roberts, B-E-R-T-S. And it's Latino rap in the vein of like popular stuff like I'm not really familiar with that, but I'm just gonna say like Kendrick Lamar. It's like Kendrick Lamar, and like I watched one of his songs, and he's like, I'm gonna hit that pussy like crack cocaine, and I'm like, oh my god. So we might not just have hair metal, we might have cholos there, cholo gangbangers too.
Cholo crack smoking gangbangers at its finest.
Yeah, with really fancy, obviously well-produced music videos. Look it up on YouTube.
They have the Edgar
It might be a
haircuts.
chuckle, it might be a new interest. I don't know.
Do they have the Edgar haircuts?
Huh?
Do they have the Edgar haircuts?
I don't know. In the video, they have like a bunch of guys. Some of them were wearing bulletproof vests. They all had automatic weapons, shaved heads, tattoos, the tears on the eyes. He's sitting there singing about that. I don't know.
I see a lot of longevity in their careers, or so
The vocals are obviously auto-tuned. It's what the mainstream wants for sure. So
yeah, isn't that interesting? That's what they when that's no longer outlaw. Like if that's the norm, then what is the outlaw?
It's like a Latino thing.
Jesus,
I'm
Jesus,
just
bro.
interested in that. Alien Fiance, we have Goth something, and they're called Goth.
Goth Soul. From Los Angeles, California, Goth Soul.
Parker was going off on that. I said, let's give him a chance. But he's like, okay. I was like, we're going to go in there and we get a dressing room. We get some waters. We got, and we got the whiskey. We basically like rented the place for like 30 minutes, the stage for 30 minutes, and the dressing room for the rest of the night. But we got to share with these other acts. who knows what wild shit they got going on. So,
Yeah,
and then
who
there's
knows?
I think one of those bands is like a grunge punk thing. I don't know.
Grunge
it's a pretty
punk?
crazy mix bill. It ain't gonna be like the J Cafe. That's my scene where Speculum.
Oh no, yeah, this is gonna be Hollywood, baby.
The whiskey is something different. It's going to coalesce into something different and hopefully like a nice, good live recording.
Yeah, I'm going to see you. I might stick around for some of the other acts, but I don't know, man. It's not sounding too hot. But we'll see.
It might be a good
laugh.
a good exercise of curiosity.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it, man.
You got to find the cup's got to be half full.
Someone's
find something, like you're saying, you got the access to the club that night and the shows. So
yeah, someone's gonna hear this and kick my fucking ass at the show.
No, I think it'll be pretty chill. I think it's gonna be pretty. I think it's gonna be pretty open. Let's just say it that. I wouldn't say vacant, but the club will be open.
That's cool, man. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to all that, dude. And thanks again for joining me, dude. And
we got to wind this down. I keep talking.
No, it's all good though, dude. We keep it's good stuff though. You know what I mean? It's like a Minnesota goodbye. If you ever heard what that is. So.
Oh yeah, you're hearing. I'm born and raised here in California, so I've never lived where there's snow. I wouldn't know.
Well, I lived in Minnesota. Yeah, that's how they say goodbye. It takes them about half an hour, but it's all good, man. And one last time, Brian from Speculum, Birdeater Entertainment, thank you so much, and thank you for listening. Good night, and God bless you all.